welcome back to our channel, Faith Family Fredericks. I am alone today. Alvin's not here because I'm going to be speaking to you about the main reason we decided to start this vlog. And that's because we have experienced something that is not spoken about enough generally in society. And specifically in South Africa, we feel that there just isn't enough support or information about this. And we wanted to use our experience to try and help somebody else who's going through this. So the topic for today's video is miscarriage. Let me just say that I have always wanted children. I have volunteered with Scripture Union doing kids camps. I was a Sunday school teacher. I was always the babysitter. I just have always loved kids. Whenever I see a baby, I just kind of lose focus and I have to look at the cute little chubby cheeks and the little feet and the toes. The pinky toenail is my favorite thing on a baby. It's so small. Why? Like, how does it even exist? Anyway, so I've always wanted to be a mom. So it's not like it's something that was weird for me to try for. Anyway, we decided that we were ready, and within not probably a month, I started feeling very weird. My body was a bit strange. Now I'm going to reveal some probably graphic details, but I will warn you beforehand. But yeah, I started feeling just a little bit odd, just different, and I said, like, I'm sure I'm just sick or stressed or whatever. And Alvin kept saying, just take a pregnancy test, you're pregnant, take a pregnancy test. And I was like, no, there's no way, like, there's just no way. I'm 28 and I am, like, we've only been trying for a couple of weeks and there's just no way that I'm pregnant. And then eventually, I feel like I'll never forget the dates exactly. I think on the Sunday we decided, okay, we're going to go and buy a pregnancy test, and then the Monday I was like, okay, I'm going to take one at home. And I took a test and there were 2 little pink lines, which meant pregnant. And Nikita went, oh my gosh, okay, maybe I'm pregnant. I don't believe it though. Like, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a false positive. We didn't have like thousands of rand to throw away on pregnancy tests. Just like, oh, maybe it's just a false positive. Maybe I took it wrong. I don't know. I'm not so sure. And then I thought, okay, let's take another 2 days and wait and test. So I tested again, and we were really excited. It was really exciting. The second test was positive, and I started thinking, okay, maybe this is going to happen. So this was on the Wednesday. Now, if you are a little bit squeamish, or if you don't want to hear the graphic details, you can skip ahead to this time on the video, and it will skip through all the gory details about what I experienced. But I think that it's important for women to understand what some of the signs could be. These signs are not necessarily proof that you are having a miscarriage or that you are losing your baby, but they are definitely things to look out for. Anyway, so on the Wednesday we took the pregnancy test, and I think I was at school and it was exam time, and it was the end of the year, and it was really crazy, and I was very stressed out, and it was in that phase of the year where I lose sleep because I'm an English teacher and you have to mark all these essays, and it was just a crazy time. But anyway, I was at school and I went to the bathroom, and when I went to the bathroom, I wiped and I saw that there was a little bit of like a pinkish color on the paper, and I started freaking out a little bit. But I tried not to freak out because I felt like, oh, more stress is probably worse. So I contacted one of my friends who's a doctor, and I told her, listen, I had 2 positive pregnancy tests, but I'm having a little bit of pinkish liquid. What's going on? Should I be worried? And she said, look, take it easy, don't worry. You need to make sure that, like, a little bit of light spotting in pregnancy is possible, but she said if anything changes, if it becomes it changes color. If it becomes bright red and a lot, then go to the emergency room. If you experience cramping, go to the doctor immediately. Anyway, so I thought, okay, maybe the pregnancy test was wrong, and it was very faint the second time, the first and second time. They were very, very faint, and I was just not sure that it was happening. So I told Alvin about it, and I said, listen, we need to tell somebody because I'm feeling very alone and very scared. And so we told somebody else, and I asked them to just pray with us, because I was very scared about the fact that I was spotting. Anyway, and then on the Saturday morning, I decided I'm going to take one of those clear blue digital tests and decide once and for all if I was going to believe it. I don't know why, I just didn't want to believe it, but I think it's because of the little spotting that I was having, which had stopped. The Thursday and Friday it was kind of okay, but anyway, the Saturday morning we decided we're gonna have this test, and it was, I'll never forget that it was the 19th of November, and we took the clear blue test and it was positive, and it said pregnant, and then it said 4 to 5 weeks, because it gives you an indication of how long you've been pregnant. So it was there was a little life growing inside me, and I was so excited. I don't know why, but I immediately felt like it was going to be a girl for some reason, also because all the babies in my husband's family at the time were girls, and I just felt this incredible sense of connection and just excitement. And I remember looking down at my stomach and my husband kissing it, and it was just probably the happiest moment of my entire life. Finally believing it and finally acknowledging, okay, whoa, this is a baby. If you know me, I can't keep secrets. Like, if I'm planning something for someone that I think is going to make them happy, or if I've bought someone a present, I am the literal worst. I can't keep it to myself, and I can't wait to give the present. So sometimes I will go to the shop and buy the present and then walk in and give it to the person, even if it's not their birthday or whatever the occasion is. My mother already has a Mother's Day present, and it's not even the weekend yet. So I can't keep a secret, and I can't, especially if it's something I'm excited about. So I wanted to tell our family immediately. So I messaged my best friend. I told my in-laws. We told them at my brother and sister-in-law's place. So my husband's parents were there, his brother, his sister-in-law, they were all there. And so we told them, and they were really excited, obviously, and it was just an incredible thing, and I couldn't flip and wait to tell my family. We were going to see them late in the afternoon. It was my niece's birthday party. So almost as soon as I walked in the door, as soon as somebody came in, I was like, come to the bedroom, let me tell you. And then we told everybody, and it was so amazing. I remember my brother Carlo, if you're a little sister you understand this, but my body was having really hectic hormonal reactions, so my boobs were super sore, and I had this giant pimple. I actually still have the scar of it somewhere here on my chin, but it was massive. It was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And my brother asked, are you sure you're pregnant and it's not just like that pimple on your chin that you're gonna name and give birth to through your face? Yeah, the others. But anyway, they were really happy, and it was really exciting. And then not even an hour after that, it was my niece's birthday party, and I was sitting on the floor. She had a glow in the dark things that we were painting, and I was sitting on the floor painting it, and I got a cramp. And I had cramps with the spotting, but they were so tiny. But anyway, I just started feeling weird. I felt nauseous. I felt a little bit off, and I thought, oh, this is just silly. I'm just being silly. I'm just being afraid and paranoid. Anyway, I I remember sitting with my nephew on my lap, and he was bouncing around, and I was like, I just don't feel good at all. Anyway, then we left, and I didn't want to worry anyone because I felt like I was being hypochondriacal and paranoid. And we went home, and I got into bed. It's probably about 9 o'clock. And again, if you are squeamish, you can skip to this time in the video. I woke up around, I'd say 2 o'clock in the morning with massive pain. This was not cramping, this was like a stabbing, gut-wrenching pain. And I didn't want to wake up my husband, so I went to the bathroom, and I just felt wrong. A whole lot of blood started coming out, and it was bright red. And I remember what my friend had said, and I thought, this is not okay. So I was sitting there and thinking, I have to go to the emergency room, and I had to phone Alvin to come in and take me out to the bathroom because I couldn't walk. It was so painful. And we went to Bremer. At this point, the pain was excruciating. I couldn't walk. I knew something was wrong. I knew when I was woken up with the pain, I knew that it was done. It seemed like it was about 45 minutes, and then we went into the exam room. And they asked me to take a urine test, and I was like, okay, then to confirm if I am pregnant. So I told them I've taken like 3 tests already, they've all been positive, and then the lady said, no, we have to confirm. The nurse, and then I took the urine test, and she looks at it, and she picks the phone up, and she doesn't say anything to us. She picks the phone up, and she says, hi doctor, we have this patient here who says she's pregnant, but the pregnancy test says negative. Yes, she's been bleeding, there's a lot, whatever. So she answers the questions, and I look at Alvin at this point, and we're both like, so now the test is negative, so what does that mean? And then she just says, okay, go through, the OBGYN will see you. So we go through into a waiting area, and this wait was really long. I don't know how long it was, probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's how it felt. Maybe it was shorter, I don't know. And eventually we go in, but I had to go in alone. And she does an exam, and again, graphic details, skip ahead like 10 seconds. She uses the forceps, and when she pulls it out, like a lot of stuff comes out. I don't know what to call it. Matter. She does an ultrasound, and she says, I'm not seeing anything. And then she asked me a few questions. She asked me what I had passed, how much blood, and I answered them. And I just remember, I don't remember her name. She was really beautiful. And she kind of held my hand, and she said, I'm sorry, but there's no baby. You've missed the pregnancy. You've had a miscarriage. And then I remember my first thought was, oh great. Now what? And she was so kind, and she was so nice, and she said to me she had experienced it before, and it's horrible, but she explained that I could go home and kind of pass the rest of whatever there was, but I had another option of having a DNC, which is a womb scrape, where they remove the rest of whatever there was, so asked her to call Alvin in, and I looked at him and I could see, and I just remember his eyes just full of tears, and that's when I finally broke down, and our baby was gone. And so on my 29th birthday, I had to go through a horrible experience of being in hospital and having a womb scrape, which is just, I don't know, some people say that it's really easy and they don't feel it and it's okay, but that was just awful. I felt everything. It was horrible, but everybody experiences it differently, and the nurses were just so wonderful. Every time they came to check my vital signs, they were like, "Oh my gosh, it's your birthday, happy," "Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a happy birthday." Anyway, so that's the story of our first miscarriage. Yes, I say first because I had another two. Anyway, so this is probably a very long video, and I'm so sorry. With all this emotion, it's difficult to stay to the point, and yeah. So obviously, since then, I mean, we've had some really bad moments. Grief doesn't just come when it's convenient. It usually comes at the worst possible time. Like when your friend tells you that they are pregnant, or when someone you know has a baby shower, or when they give birth. You feel your own grief, or I do at least. I feel our losses every day. I don't think that I'm the same person that I was before we had our miscarriage, our first, or any of them. And sometimes, I mean, we've made so many friends since that first one, and life has changed so much. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I feel like it's unfair that the people I love and the people I spend time with don't know what I was like before I lost my first baby. I'm really different, and maybe not in a way that anybody can immediately notice, but I'm really different. And one of the things that one of the days that I struggle with the most is Mother's Day. I obviously want to celebrate my own mom and my mother-in-law. They've been amazing and really supportive. But every Mother's Day is really rough. That I remember the first one after we had our first miscarriage. I cried in a bathroom at church and left the church service. I know that it's not my fault. I know with my head. And I know that there's nothing I could have done for any of the pregnancies to save them. But I still feel like it's my fault sometimes. And I still feel like there's such a big part of me that's missing. And Mother's Day is the worst. Because it's going to be a long video to edit. Because I love my babies. I loved them before they were conceived. In the less than a week that I knew about the first one, I had planned and dreamed an entire life. And I'll never see that come to light. But also what I do know is that I am a mother. I'm still a mother. I can't hold my babies in my arms. I won't see them in this life. But I'm a mother. And a lot of that love, that mothering, goes into my kids at school. Shame. And every class I've had since my first miscarriage has given me a Mother's Day card and loved me and made it feel a little bit better or a little bit easier. My husband and I exchange Mother's Day and Father's Day gifts, or even just, acknowledge that we are a mother and a father. But it feels like the world doesn't, and it feels like I'm not enough of a woman or of a wife. Not every day, but it feels like that on Mother's Day. Okay. Whew. I'm going to stop rambling all my emotions out. This is going to be like a 40-minute video. So the reason I decided to make a video and cry on camera is that I'm not alone. I am not the only one in the world who has had a miscarriage, or more than one. 1 in 4 women in their lifetime will experience miscarriages. That means a quarter of every woman you know will experience miscarriage and child loss. It's so common, and these feelings that I've expressed are incredibly common, but that doesn't make them true. I am a mother, and if you've experienced a miscarriage and have not had any living kids since, you are still a mother. And it's okay. It's okay to break down on Mother's Day. It's okay to not do all the things you would have done before your miscarriages or miscarriage. It's okay to not feel like celebrating on the day. It's okay. And the whole reason for us having this blog is to show you that you are not alone. That it happens so often, and you don't have to feel this way. So that's it. I think thank you for listening to my emotional rambling. I'm really sorry. I really wanted this to be more ordered, set out, whatever. But grief is messy, and I'm a mess, always will be probably, and I hope in a future video to talk to you about the hope that I have. But today I'm just gonna feel my grief and struggle through another Mother's Day. But if you have resonated with any of this, send me an email, send us a private message on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Reach out, because you are not alone and it wasn't your fault.